Looks like the momentum has shifted to MVP Black. Faces of L5 members not looking too happy after that second game. But G-Cuff, we are tied up 1-1. We're headed to game 3.
My dream. I wanted a long series, and here we go. Do not know the battleground yet. Momentum definitely shifted, and once that the momentum shift, I think because MVP Black won, of course L5 will very, very likely to take first man, first pick. MVP Black usually they throw off to a weird map when it goes to a 1-1 series, something like BOE, maybe Towers of Doom. Of course, both StarCraft maps, as I remember, is banned.
Yes, that's right. So available maps are Dragonshire, Towers of Doom, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Sky Temple, which is a good map for MVP Black. I think it was not the right choice for L5, but I think for Black could be a good one. Although MVP Black was behind in the early game in Infernal Shrines, so maybe concern for them going forward. Winning that late game fight was what won them the series. Well, 2 late game fights. The first one that led to the Punisher, the second one that led to the kill onto SC. I feel like it's tough to say which style is working better, like, because we saw the hyper carry volley in game 1, then we saw it in game 2. It lost both games. Yeah. So maybe what this is telling us is that teams are starting to figure out how to use mages, use CC to destroy the Vala, and that's what happened on Cursed Hollow. That's what happened when we saw the Vala die there at the end, and we had some really cool coordinated fights with the Twilight Dream, with the Horrify. I think that those are the kind of ways to deal with this hypercarry. That's why Chromie was banned, right? Oh man, we're going to Towers of Doom.
They were scared of the burst, and there was Greymane on the other side. We are going in to Towers, boys.
Time for Towers.
But this one, I think both teams may move a little away from the hypercarry, maybe focus slightly more on the global. We already saw some Brightwing happening from Black. Maybe a Dehaka can make an appearance on top lane. And talking about top lane, this one, because top lane's kind of far apart, usually the mid-bottom rotation does not come help the top as often as the other battlegrounds. The top solo lane war, the duel will matter a lot. Maybe we'll just see Sonya coming out or Marthale here.
Okay. I think you're right. There's definitely a chance we do see that line of thinking. We won't know until we get into this draft. Loading in now. First ban will go to L5.
Waiting for Pentium for those Pentium computers.
We use the dual cores here, yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Insta Uther ban even before the UI pops up.
Uther ban. Ario ban. So just trying to limit again the tools that the hypercarries have. Same exact first bans as we had on Infernal Shrines. When L5 had first pick, first game, they took Auriel, and that was, of course, because Black baited that. In this case, it will have other options. If they want to pick the hypercarry, maybe this is the place to do it. Do they take the Greymane? Do they take the Vala here? Take the DPS first? So many supports are viable. Lucio, also a really good pick here, I think. Control the rotations, control the team fights with Sound Barrier.
Let's see. Well, Black first picked ETC last time. When ETC was available, maybe L5 is considering Shiriel instead. Seems like they want to have some sanctification, some protective tool in their hands. Here's insta-pick. Tracer is here, guys.
Tracer Tassadar.
Hypercarry Tracer?
Probably.
Sometimes they actually picked Vala, or of course it's different. As Vala as a bait, and then pick Tracer. Maybe they'll just have Tracer as a bait and draw out something else in the draft.
Could be. Kyocha, the most famous Tracer player in Korea over the past year and a half, but obviously now that he's switched roles to main support, it will either be Rich, who's been playing range DPS today, or Sake on the Tracer. So L5 has Tyrael. They have the ability to grab Greymane with him and a strong support like Lucio. Lucio Greymane, I think it's a great rotation here. You could maybe go down the path of the Greymane Rhaegar as well.
Pick up along with Greymane pair up, and then possibly L5 is thinking of something like Genji to counter all that Tracer's auto attack. Also, Vala once more. So far in this series, 0-2.
So it's funny to think about it this way, but in a weird way, Tracer she's not burst DPS in terms of her auto attacks, but her pulse bombs are. And if the pulse bombs hit the Vala, we could have similar situations to what we had last game where the Vala just disappears, team fight is over.
But just like Overwatch, pulse bombs can be countered with a sound barrier.
Can be avoided as well. They can be protected by tank lines like the Tyrael, whatever top laner L5 is going to bring to the table here. So something to consider. Obviously, that Tracer can have that burst potential. Easier said than done. It means the onus is going to be on L5 in those moments to have the protection for the target that Tracer is going to come in and hit. So Morales ban is going to be, again, it looks like the possibility here. They're trying to decide between which long sustained healing they want to remove. It's tough. There's too many supports in the game right now. That's why this double support meta is kind of becoming a thing. Will be the Stukov longer healing that they're worried about. And the silence that destroyed them in the early game in game 2.
That's right. The silences was the tool to disrupt all the escapes from happening. Even Tracer cannot blink away. And if Tracer cannot blink away from danger, she will be melted from some damage. Her health pool is not the largest.
Will we see just an ETC ban here? It feels safe, right? Chromie is something they definitely are considering as well, even though they already have shown the Tracer. Like, they're clearly scared of that. It's clearly something that Sake has defeated them with in scrims over the past few weeks. Wow, banning the Malfurion, though.
They're really going for the support choke, as the Twilight Dream, once they dove in game 2, turned around somewhat, and the silence tool, it wasn't the silence, it was the pair up, the coordination after the silence. They came in together. Silence is not the longest one, and it does some damage, but in that midst of this few seconds, Vala was focused and deleted because could not protect, of course, with the silence. That's the feedback that L5 has. Of course, here comes. This leads me to believe that Rich will not be playing Dehaka.
Oh, you think he's going to play Tracer? I was thinking the opposite. I saw the Dehaka and I think Rich will be playing the Dehaka because they wanted to pick a solo laner. The other times both times he's not played. He's played DPS. They haven't had a traditional solo laner.
Of course, Dehaka is a solo laner, but Tusk can also, I guess, come in. I think if they pick, they do need. Okay, I do follow your thinking, and I think you're right.
Okay, Morales again.
And Sake on Dastar is most likely to be one.
I suppose your line of thinking is definitely possible as well. And in this new evolving meta within the series, I'm not talking about new support meta being new because that's definitely an old thing.
I think that's just enough. And with these 4, plus Johanna for the blind and some TCs available, with Wave Clear also, I mean, perfect MVP Black's team comp.
In the evolution of the meta in this series, it could be that they do something a little bit weird, like we wouldn't expect, but have, you know, a role swap and have Rich on the Tracer because he did play ranged Greymane in the solo lane in game 2, and he did play ranged Vala with the crazy wonky comp we saw in game number 1, the triple support. So not out of the realm of possibility, but for L5 now, you've got several pieces of the puzzle. But you don't have a strong solo laner against the Dehaka. You need that. Malthael is available. Sonya is available. You've got Tyrael already. Sonya Rhaegar seems like a great final end to this draft. Very balanced. They want the ETC, though, and the Zarya.
They needed one more tool. Other than Lucio, it's not a double support, though. There is not burst healing coming out from L5. That may get them into trouble when they need some protection. So they do have Zarya for the shield.
This is weird, man. Arthas and Dehaka on the same team comp. Now, you say it's not double support, and I would say it's definitely not double healer, but in a way it's triple support. You have Tyrael, Lucio, and Zarya that are going to protect the Vala. So it's a different type of hyper carry. It's not triple healer, but it is triple support. Arthas and Dehaka both can be strong in the solo lane. Probably we'll see Arthas in the 4-man instead, and we'll see the Dehaka split pushing to try to get bell tower control. Doesn't look like Sake is too happy with the draft, but I think it's a very balanced comp on the side of L5, a little bit more of an unusual one for MV Black. We'll see if they can make it work as we head into game number 3, Towers of Doom. In blue, MVP Black. Reset on Tastar. Sake on Morales. Kocha on Tracer. Rich on Dahaka and Tist on Arthur. So Kyocha Tracer
is back. L5, Hooligan on HGC, SC on Vala, Jonga on Tyrael SDE, on Zarya, and Swoi on Lucio.
2016 Super League Season 2, we saw Tracer's release. Kyocha was the first player to play Tracer in Korea, off-rolling onto the DPS, then became the only player to consistently play Tracer in the what's now called Mid-Season Brawl at DreamHack, the Summer Championship. He's so famous for his Tracer play, but it's been a very long time since we've seen it. Former teammate Sign is now the Tracer player of Tempest, for example. Let's see if this works out. I don't think this will be untouchable because, you know, it's still very risky. This is the burst we were talking about, not going to be enough. Built that so quickly, though.
That pressure is insane. Even with the wall ride, Swoi could not escape. Perfect shield from SDE, just knowing the protection from the side, that was good.
There's so many ways to protect against the Pulse Bomb from the comp of L5, though. I think that's why they chose this Zarya over something like a Rhaegar, because you have now this easily, you know, point-and-click shield for two heroes. Basically, you just have Tyrael press W, gets his shields, and you have to point-and-click for Zarya. And then Lucio, of course, will have Sound Barrier in those moments. So there are a lot of ways to deal with the Pulse Bomb burst. And maybe that's why they do decide to take the risk and go untouchable to get more damage. Only time will tell. So this is going to be the Tyrael in the solo lane against Dahaka. Arthas looking for picks with the Howling Blast so far.
And this time, Qvala alone. Solo hyper carry, Qvala. Not the most common one, but these days, Qvala plus the Strafe seems to be doing alright with burst damage. And along, of course, Zarya did not go into basic attack build, but with a maximum charge, I think, with extra energies, you can do a lot more, and a lot more time to do more damage.
Yeah, two different ways to get to the same end, I guess you could say, in terms of raw damage output. This is going to be the greedier version, and when Tracer is your enemy and she is just doing consistent damage like literally all the time, no matter what, that's what you want. The max energy that you could get. Will be parting gift, no untouchable for Kyocha. So just standard Tracer play, not taking the risk. All right, Altars traded in the top, but this is a huge commitment actually for L5 to try to take this neutral one. They're going to look for the pick here onto Morales. Sake survives.
Pulse Bomb missed, but Swoi is very low. There was Rich coming out from the side.
Swoi solo.
Swoi so low.
Okay, here's that shield energy getting built up. Kyocha immediately changes target. Swoi is trying to heal himself up. And in the top lane, Tist is actually trying to steal that altar. They actually might get all three altars. Okay, just John interrupting him, but he's so low on mana. That's why Tist is actually doing this. They're rotating up now. This could be the triple altar. I think it's going to be. Howling Blast connects. They've got the bottom one. They're rotating up. John gets over the wall, but can they take this now? Very unlikely.
Swoi's moving in and out with that speed boost, man.
Okay, Swoi does get in here and channel, but he is interrupted. Zarya trying to stop the Dahaka rotation up right now.
Brush Stalker is still not available, I see, because Rich came down for the bottom altar.
High energy here on this Zarya. Junga comes in. This might have been a mistake here for Rich. They're doing the longer fight. Ball is taken out here. Kyocha with the Pulse Bomb kill off screen. Get to the pick. That burst we were talking about from the beginning of the draft.
When SD, there's no protection. The shield is not available onto the Vala. That's the exact angle when Kyocha would go in. This may...
Well, should be interrupted by Aldruins. But, like, the next channel I don't think has any air-ups. Zarya is going to try to throw the grenade, I suppose.
Are we going to have a 40-0 game? I don't think so, but this is a start for sure.
I think I've commentated maybe 2 games with the in my entire career.
Rare.
Not even of the 40-0. I think only 2 of the triple altar first capture. That almost never happens, that you get all 3 altars. That is so rare. And when we're talking about the #1 team in Korea versus #2, the fact that that happened here is even crazier. The maximum charge is completed very early in this game, by the way. With all the damage coming out from Tracer and the well-placed bubbles. So, huge advantage to Black. Talent tier advantage as well. To get a bell tower advantage, this game could definitely go towards that 40-0. I still don't think that's ever going to happen, but never say never.
Never say never, and seems like Kyocha's on the fly. He's a flying machine and just sticking those pulse bombs every single time. Of course, there was a miss at the bottom altar, but after that, he's building up so quickly because of all the melee he's giving all the pressures into L5. They can't even come out.
Notice what Kyocha does when the shield is up. He just ignores the shield target, changes targets, or just backs away until it expires.
It's really tough, especially as a tracer.
Yeah.
You keep on doing auto attack. You have to press S and try to stop your auto attacks and just try to move away.
I think it's almost just as it's the way humans operate and the way our brains work is when you see that bubble, you just want to pop it. You almost want to attack it more. Because you're like, oh, he's protecting him. That means he needs help, so I should try to kill him more. But you actually want to do the opposite. You want to do what Sake is doing, or sorry, what Kyocha is doing here, and change targets or back away just to not give the Zarya energy. Okay, waiting for that to wear off here. Looking for a potential pulse bomb. He's got it held here. Tosses it in with the parting gift. He was hoping for a pick, but not going to happen there. No one was low enough. But he's just constantly using them because he's building these so consistently. He doesn't care about using them early. There's a double root. Great dimensional shift there by Reset. I don't know if they can actually turn this fight. I think MVP should be careful here.
Which is coming from the side. Great root placed. Gush is pressuring in. Does not have pulse bomb yet.
Grab onto Hooligan. No pulse bomb yet. He's very close to it. Good shield usage here from Teros. Swoy gets the first channel here. Rip the 40-0 dream. Still going to be a even trade for MVP Black, who's ahead 12, so an even trade is a win. When they're ahead, they're faster to level 10. They've been getting the better soak. They have Tahaka in the top lane. They have the global advantage. L5 is not making the Zarya composition look very promising at the moment. So this is a similar comp to what they ran back in the Global World Championship for Gold Club, where they had very early Zarya picks. They were doing early damage. Not in this case, though. Pulse Bomb connects. Hooligan very low. Does get a good power slide. The Tyrael shields as well, protecting for so long.
Shastar is the fall from the side. Jungkook
SDE full energy. Full energy SDE.
Ooh, there's a basic attacks coming in with the max energy.
They got the chase here with a Lucio speed boost. Tist trying to do what he can to root, but he's going to get booped back, and that's a triple, excuse me. They lost the Sappers, but what they gained was so much more. They won this fight down heroics as well. So it was very much the extra energy that SDE had, he still maintains. A lot of the extra energy actually came from the Sapper cap.
Oh my, Stim Drone onto Tracer. I was wondering why he was taking bullet time at 7. But with Stim Drone, he can do a lot more basic attack, which means he will get a lot more blink. And Kyocha can just run around the entire team comp of L5.
It's going to be hyper mobile what they can do now. So, I mean, you have those many blink charges, you have the extra damage. That means that that moment when you have that stim is going to be so much more powerful. 20 seconds for the next altar phase. L5 wants more than a trade here now. They have heroics finally. They are on even talent tiers. They want this to be a double. They want to start to mount the comeback. Trading is just not good enough as the game continues. Hooligan does power slide in. They have the Sank here with the Mosh. It's a triple.
The triple and Kyocha with the rain. Sake is very low, and Morales focus. Morales, he goes down, and there's less healing coming out.
Sound barrier is so good. Kyocha's got the stim drone here despite the focus of Morales, but I don't think it's going to matter. That was so coordinated there from L5. The Maj with the Sanctification is going to win them another team fight, and they are going to get the double altars they so desperately needed. Very well played. Different kind of holy cow here, I suppose you could say.
It was well timed. An instant moment. Their shot calling at that moment was insane. Seems like they didn't even talk and knew exactly what to do as a pair. Sanctification dropped instantly and the mosh pit right after.
All right. They actually didn't get the double channel, despite the fact that they won the fight. Sake respawned. They came over. They were all low. They had to hearth home. So this, despite being a nice opening pick, despite this being a one-team fight that catches them up in experience, they still have that 12 core health deficit. This is going to become terrifying when they start to worry about bosses' bell tower control, because structurally MVP Black is also ahead in that regard. One bell tower for Black could mean a lost boss, which means 4 more shots. These are the things that when you talk about leads on this map, maybe 4 is okay, 8 is okay, but 12, you're still really worried at this stage. So L5 needs to, again, have a more dominant fight, get more dominant objectives.
Tus is caught alone. There's drops the rain. Kyoto comes for the aggro, but Tus is on to the other side. He's getting focused.
He's getting his heals up. Pulse bomb here, denied by the Sank.
Nice timing by Jungha there.
Yeah, and Kyocha is just trying to do what he can here with the stim drone connected. Psy Storms as well, just raining down. Reset's not able to do enough. They're not able to get the picks that they were looking for there.
You're down 12. If you can get those picks, start your macro on your own. If you start getting those macros, get the towers down, then even if there's a Dehaka onto the other side, you can start your own macro, and they maybe just push the entire game, and they can have a great comeback. This is the map. That's exactly why I love Towers of Doom so much.
Yeah. Comeback semi-mounted. Easily.
Isolation dropped onto HGC.
He wants it. He's going to get it. Nice pick here.
Caught off guard. That was a little off guard, and he couldn't really do much.
Not very expensive what they used for this. This is another boss. Remember, these are the scary moments. L5 is going to trade this for a bell tower. And MVP Black can just rotate down and clear that up. This will be killed very quickly as SD is just going to build energy here. Oh, just kind of messed that up a little bit, but now we'll be nearly at full energy. They could just rotate down, and in fact, I don't even know if they can get that bell tower. I don't think they can. Did not quite work out the way they wanted it to. They didn't have any sappers. They're going to damage it, but now doubling the core health is MVP Black. Dahaka's getting extra soak.
That was a crucial moment of losing Hooligan there. And Black right after did the boss. Now the 12 difference is a bigger one. 16 difference when MVP Black has the lead. If Alpha got the bell tower, at least it could have saved a lot of time, really not getting the minions this far back and actually give them a lot more room to pressure in.
All right, heals coming in. Safeguard's already used onto Kyocha. Doesn't have any more. Looking for the pulse bomb, misses it. Doesn't do enough damage to anybody there. Rich is split pushing to get the spell tower, which is actually huge, but pulse bomb being gone means he's just trying to farm up for another one. Third of the way there, denying this channel. Rich is going to come in here. They're looking for the hard engage now. Tisk looking for that Howling Blast. See, the Stimbarone is used here. He's coming in the back. He's trying to build for that pulse bomb. He doesn't have it yet. Full energy here for SDEs. Going down, though. Doesn't have the shield.
Did not get Morales. They were trying to get Morales inside, but does not catch.
Okay, pulse bomb misses SDE. Still at full energy here. The sound barrier kept him alive. Now they've got the Sank. They're staggering these heroics together to win the longer fight.
Hooligan's looking for the mosh pit angle, but it's just not coming in. The
there
shield,
it is.
There it is. But instantly canceled by the grenade of
SDE,
Morales.
He's so low! He does finally go down there at full energy here. It's a 1-for-1. Can Kyocha carry the rest of the fight? The slide misses. Kyocha's got that shield. He's healing up here. Building up for another pulse bomb. He's got it. It hits Chunga. No Sank to save him. He's down. Kyocha recalls here. Does he have the blink? The shield saves him. And he does avoid that power slide. Morales gets the heal off. So clutch. So clutch. So important they didn't kill the Morales. That's a longer healing, and this is 5 shots on the core now for MVP Black.
That's insane. This Tracer play is out of control. L5 does have some CC, but it's not instant point-click CC. It's power slide, you can dodge it if you're quick, and Kyocha does it every single time. It's amazing plays coming out from Kyocha right now. And Sake's positioning. Zarya was trying to trap in Sake along with Tastar so that Hooligan has the angle for the mosh pit because they needed Morales dead. This positioning coming out from Black is insane, and all 5 really trying hard, but after all, Kyocha is hard carrying the game right now.
He certainly is. That's the whole idea, right? The series has been defined by the DPS players, and in this game it's Kyocha playing as Tracer. We haven't seen, it feels like over a year now. He brings it back. Hooligan's caught. This isn't going to be the first time. Does get out there. Close call. They saved the bell tower. So we're back even now. 4-4. The next altar is going to be important, though. Yeah, I believe it's the triple.
We think it's back even, but Dehaka's already started the camp on the top, and Rich will be doing the global things as he always did in this game. These 4 men and Kyocha's harassment with the pulse bomb landing about 80% of the time, and actually getting picks when needed. It's hard carrying the team right now.
Certainly is. Okay, look. Poking this, they're just waiting for the next altar phase. They know they're ahead. L5 has 16, but they just want to have the advantage on altars before that next, on bell towers before this phase. As I said, it's the last one, it's the triple. If they get all 3, they win the game. They cannot allow this. L5 cannot get wiped here. Shield just barely mistimed. SC eats a lot of damage. Will be able to be healed up. Just building for another pulse bomb now is Kyocha.
Will take some time though because there's no burst healing coming out from Lucio alone.
MVP wants this one team fight because if they win it, they win the game. If they get the wipe before the altars are channeled, they win this game. Stim Drone is active now. Sanctification comes through, but there's no Mosh with it. Good avoid here by MVP Black. The Mosh is available. Sound barrier now coming through. Hooligans looking for that angle.
Just survives with all the damage. There's a pulse bomb onto SC.
He's
He's
gone.
dead. And this will be going for a but Tracer's dead also. There's a big mosh pit.
Okay, it's going to be the battle of tanks, but SDE is a sub-DPS here when he's got full energy here. Will he be able to live all the way? Full energy. He does go down, though. Hooligan maybe the next to fall. Was so close to doing enough damage in that fight. But now MVP Black wins it. They're looking for the triple channel. This may be game. First channel coming through. Hooligan's going to buy time here. The bottom channel, the neutral one, is already channeled. It's already sent by reset. Sake is channeling the left one, and they're all going to collapse on this. This is the Alamo of L5. They cannot allow this to be captured. Jonga has to stay here. They cannot allow this to happen. 15 seconds for Zarya. SC is going to be up in 1. He's heading over. They need to interrupt. They need to interrupt. There it is.
They do interrupt. The grenade is pushing them back, though. Do they have any other tools to come in? Jonga comes in, but takes a lot of damage. Tracer is coming.
Okay, they're coming in. Isolation used onto Hooligan. Holy Ground's going to wear off.
Oh, grenade actually does so much damage right now.
Yeah, but so does Storm, and they're all in this choke point, never where you want to be. Okay, Jonga's going to, looks like Hearth home here. They want to be at full potential here. 10 seconds for Sank. He wants to have that.
That's the thing, L5 needs this, but MVP Black, they can have many different tools to end this game. Dehaka can still push top, so putting a lot of pressure into other lanes.
Even if this goes really long and Dehaka gets top and bottom, they just lose the game anyways. They have to hard engage. They're going to try to take this opportunity. SC, well protected here. Sanctification is back online now.
Focusing the tank is not doing the do. Oh, that's great mosh.
Great mosh with the Sank in the choke point. Looks like they are going to win this longer fight. Okay, does go down now though. SC so low, is protected. Stim Drone here onto the Dehaka. They're desperate to win this one, but they will not. SC finally is going to almost go down, but lives here somehow, some way.
How does he survive this? And Saka is the last one to fall here, but they're still very low. Okay. They need team fight like this maybe 3 more times to win this game.
This is going to have to be one of many one-team fights, though, for L5. They now need to spend this time not to gain the entire map, not to push every Merc cap, but to regain their bell towers. They need to get this mid one and the top one as soon as possible. They did the channel. They can't even risk it for the additional 4 shots. I don't think they could risk that. They don't, because it's just too risky. They could have lost the game if something went wrong. Now they have to deal with the boss and deal with this bell tower. It feels like a catch-22. They don't have Sanctification yet. Going to be up in 15 is Tyrael, Sank 35. And V-Black doesn't take the risk for the boss, though. They just want to control the map.
Hooligan is caught here, though. Isolation is used. They want to get a kill.
And they get it.
And I fear that this may just be game now. And Black is about to hit 20 very soon with Arthas with soaking at the bottom, and Dehaka can be sent up or down anywhere. They can even go for the boss without ETC on the other side.
Could this be the incredible comeback? Can they make it happen? 35 seconds for ETC. They have to control this boss. Black, again, doesn't have to take this. They can bait this fight. If they win it, they win the game. If L5 doesn't come and check, they lose the game. At least they have to assume that. SDE is going to build up a lot of energy here. Going now behind this cannon tower. Boss has started. Heading over now. 15 seconds for ETC. Doesn't have global heroic here. They have 20 as well. L5 has to win against all odds here to win this game and take match point. They do, of course, force a leash on the boss here, buying some time. 3 seconds for ETC. He's got a Mosh. They've got Sank now. It could be the Sank Mosh to take this boss away. Gonna need a miracle. Swoy should live through this. He does.
They need a lot of time for ETC to come, though. This is going very low. Reset also so low.
Okay. Looks like they hold this off for now. They survive. The boss dream is dead. It's over. And L5 wants more than that. If they win this fight, they could maybe take control of the bell towers and have the most incredible comeback we have seen on this map this year. And we've got to pause.
Oh, at the most epic moment. It's like you're into the movie, you're zoned in for 2 hours, and you go to commercials before the ending. Oh my goodness. They have Sank, they have Mosh, they have everything available, and compared to that, Black actually used a lot of their tools. I think this may be the biggest comeback of this year. Who knows? With 1 core health left. The biggest problem I think for L5 is that there's a Dehaka on the other side. The Rich's split push is just so effective against L5, and that's also the reason why oftentimes Hooligans tries to spot something. He's often solo onto the other lane, but gets picked off with the isolation coming out from Dehaka.
Well, looks like it's an issue with Swoy. Seems specifically here, so L5 having a few technical issues throughout this best of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, it is going to be, you know, we're going to, in the nature of having the best competitive, basically the best competitive environment for all 10 players, we're going to look into this. Looks to be a problem with the communications that they are using.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a voice chat problem. Seems to be a connection to the server that they're on that is has been a little bit, I guess, disconnected, or maybe one of them are lagging or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Seems like they're switching the program so that we can keep this Game 3 going and possibly all the way up to Game 5.
So there's a setup now where L5 has the lead. They have the advantage in terms of positioning, but I don't think they're going to be able to get picks out of a pause like this because Black now has so much time to actually figure out how they want to escape. They're looking at the same screen that L5 is, and it was an opportunity for L5 to win that fight after getting the near pick onto Arthas, which could have led them into getting Bell Tower control. The Merc camps, if I remember correctly, are all available right now, so could get some Sapper camps to try to control Bell Towers. If they get the Bell Tower lead and they play perfectly safe, there's still a chance, because now there's no more triple altar spawns, so that was the scariest part. They lived through the hardest part, and a comeback is absolutely possible for L5 now.
It's possible, but how many core health did MVP Black have? 30?
30.
Still?
30 to 1 currently.
That's a big number to climb. You only have one core, one single sapper will end the game. Boss, any altar channels, and L5 has to stop every single thing, and they don't have a global. Which means that they have to win every single team fight. They have to force a team fight, which will be hard because MVP Black will not fight you, basically.
I think what they have to do on every altar, or maybe what they should be doing the entirety of the time, is to try to punish Rich, try to hunt for Rich when he's pushing. Because Rich is the scariest factor. He's the X factor because he's a global. He can fight over one altar 5v5, and if you rotate up and it's a longer fight, which most of these fights have been really long, you rotate up to fight him, say both altars are available, say top and bottom, let's just say, for example. It's 5v5, you're fighting there. Rich does not use brush stock. And then suddenly, when you rotate your 5th up, because you need to win the fight, he brush stocks down and takes the other altar while you're 5v5ing there. So you kind of have to make sure you track Rich, and you have to have one person on the other altar, else he'll steal it. But that means you have to 4v5, and if you lose the 4v5, then you lose it no matter what. So it's like, not only is it a 1 versus 30, but the scenario they have, because they lack a global, is so incredibly hard to come back. Like, I can't even describe how hard it is. Like, think of the hardest math problem you've ever solved that you walked away from. It's like 4 times harder than that.
SAT, man.
I mean,
number 25 on each section.
Like,
those are the math questions that L5 is having every single second right now.
Like, I think that if L5 comes back and wins this series, they should, it should be considered that they climbed Mount Everest. It was like, that's not even fair. Like, climbing Mount Everest is way easier than this comeback that they would get. They should all have silver medals hanging on their walls. Like, Blizzard should invite them to HQ and put a plaque on the wall if they come back in this game.
Maybe the best game in Heroes of the Storm history if they have a comeback here. And I think there's still hope, but it's very, very small. And MVP Black has all the tools to end the game right now. As soon as we go into game, it may just end in 1 minute. I think it's that easy for MVP Black to actually have this for their hands. And right now it's 1-1. If they make it into 2-1, one more game, it's the end of the series.
Yeah. This is tense. And
it's intense. We're trying to carry this intensity throughout this pause, but we have no idea when it's going to end.
Yeah, so. Okay, well, pauses happen. Vehicle of esports.
Yes, we need internet. We need electricity.
You might take this time to go get some hot water, maybe get a soda or something. You grab another beer. Maybe you gonna go stretch your legs. Maybe I was gonna say walk the dog, but I don't think it's gonna be that long. Maybe Maybe go grab some more Cheez-Its out of the pantry, fill up your bowl a little bit, get a little bit hyped, go like this a little bit in front of your computer.
Maybe put a lasagna in your oven because this pod may go for a long time. Never mind. They are ready to go, and let's jump into the game very soon.
I know there's like some guy in the YouTube comments that's like, the game resumes at X. Hi, what's up to that guy? Yeah, thank you for being a good person
thumbs up.
to skip the pause. Thumbs up to that guy. No, that guy's going to be in the VOD. Or maybe not. Maybe
not.
Or maybe he'll never recognize me because he's going to skip to the game and never hear this because I thought we were going to the game, but we're not. I don't know.
I thought so because we
heard
it.
They told us. They told us we are.
It's like, the game is ready. We're jumping in very soon. I was like, okay. Not yet, guys, as 323 is real. Maybe real. And L5 will... Maybe 323 will actually change into L5 after this game.
Could be, man. Everyone will... 323 becomes L5. I don't know. I hope not. I hope that we just get in a game. That's what I want! But I guess we're just having a last-minute check because, again, it's important that all 10 players have the best possible playing conditions.
Yes.
As, like I said, the comeback here for L5 is harder than climbing Mount Everest.
Oh, yes.
They don't get the pick.
L5 hit 20, though. That's a big mark. And Vala, with the extra range, can do so much more now. It'll be a lot tougher for Gyocha to come in.
So many more shields for Zarya, too. That is huge because that's going to save them against a lot of the pulse bombs. Obviously, pulse bombs will build faster than the cooldown of rewind, but... Okay, channel starting. This is the solo one. This is the easiest one for L5 to win against, but not if they lose Jungle right away. Sank! Panic Sank here. That's not the one they wanted.
That's a big one. Dropped. Okay. How to win this game with L5 is basic. Oh,
sound barrier.
Wow.
And Rich is getting in trouble here. Isolation is used, though. They baited out both heroics. Now they're just going to hard engage here and fight. SC is down. Kocha lives. Swoy is trying to chase him down. He will get the kill, making it a 1-for-1. DPSs are down, but Zarya is dead. That means no more damage for L5. That's going to be the wipe. And as you precisely said, G-Clef, this game could have ended the minute after the pause was over, and that is exactly what happened.
Maybe a little more than a minute, but it will end as this 4v2. There's just no way to stop. Swoy's doing what he can. Oh, poor Lucio.
There you go. MVP Black will take match point. One win away from forcing the tiebreaker match between L5 and Tempest when we head into playoffs. Just one more win is all they need. We are 2-1. MVP Black dominating that last game. Nearly a 40-0 they win.
What an epic play by their first focusing Tyrael, drawing off Sanctification because either Sanctification or Sound Barrier had to be used to save Tyrael. And then right after, one was used. There's another one called Sound Barrier, so Gyocha dives in, maybe thinking of dropping the Pulse Bomb, but he actually does not even drop the Pulse Bomb and draws out the Sound Barrier just like that. And the moment you see two protective tools used on the other side, then you're going to have a fun time doing the team fight as you have everything in your hands.
Yeah, they didn't have enough heals or they didn't have any protection for Zarya either. So once SC was down, even though they got the kill, Swoy got the kill onto Gyocha. Right after that happened, like SDE was at like 5% health, dies immediately afterwards. He's at full energy, just not enough supplementary damage, just trying to send his beam around, but doesn't matter. Once they lose him, the fight was clearly over. So, where do we go now? I think if you're Black, you're up 2-1. Just take Sky Temple.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely on the same page as you. I think Sky Temple is the way, and it should be the map choice here for MVP Black.
Very high chance, as they love to snowball and finish the series with Sky Temple all the time. And there was some role swap because of Kyocha's Tracer. Maybe we'll see some decent Kyocha going back to support, but of course as a support player all the time, playing a Tracer just like this is a big change, because oftentimes if you change roles, you're positioning because you're used to just staying in the back. You cannot just play like that just for one game and then come back to your normal game. But Kyocha on that game number 3 was amazing. He seemed like one of the best best Tracer in the world.
Yeah.
Well, Kyocha equals Tracer now, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So one day, like in the Overwatch universe, Tracer will play a MOBA Like there'll be like a short of like Tracer playing a MOBA, and she'll control in game a really fast and skinny version of Kyocha.
Yeah, you have to say skinny version of Kyocha.
That also has the same sort of similar ability to teleport with whatever that pack that Tracer wears, and Kyocha's gonna be like, "Cheers, all the cavalry's here" and stuff. That's the future. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on. I imagine we probably have another sound problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sound problem, by the way.
This is why I don't normally make jokes like this, G.